Retro Quickies. Action 52, games 41 through 45. People always tell me that projects like this aren't like sprints, they're more like marathons, but I just don't like running in general, so no matter how fast or slow I'm going, I'm still not having a good time. But I can at least see the finish line, so that's a plus, even if I'm going to collapse as soon as I cross it, and this metaphor is getting stretched to hell and back, so let's move on.
City of Doom!
You're a guy climbing a skyscraper into the stars, throwing bowling balls at weird creatures impeding your progress. You can't safely crawl over the windows in this game because that's where the enemies can appear from, and you sometimes just die when you crawl over a window anyway. Most of the regular enemies aren't that dangerous, you can just hang out near the top of the stage and be perfectly safe, a lot like many of the other shooters, but that doesn't apply to when you run into the boss at the end of the level, who just darts around shooting projectiles and generally being a nuisance. Actually hitting him is a real chore too, since you can only shoot in one direction, which is straight ahead, and the boss likes to stay out on the edges, where you can't reach, or slide down to your level and move side to side. It goes from boring to bullshit real fast.
Bits and Pieces!
It's another horror-themed platformer, but it's pretty close to Mash Man in terms of gameplay. But at least the enemies in this game actually move. The principle's the same though, jump over the enemies to get as far as possible into each level. Maybe you can jump on top of your enemies, and maybe you can't, who knows? The hit and hurt boxes in this game is a mystery to me. But much like Mash Man, this is another one that is actually pretty easy to beat with turbo button jumping, not that it makes the game any more interesting.
Beeps and Blips!
Another single-screen shooter game where you fire in the same direction you're moving, basically the exact same thing as They Came, even sharing the same music as that game. This one at least doesn't crash after you complete the first level, but it doesn't really get any more interesting, and this is one of the longer games on the cart at a whopping 9 levels. Not that you'd want to see that late into it.
Manchester Beat!
Yet another platformer, this one music-themed. You do have the same melee jump trick in this one, where you can reset your fall height by punching in the air, but the main obstacles in this game are super fast projectiles flying at you from off-screen, usually too fast for you to react to it. If you time it right, you can punch them out of your way, but the timing is really fickle, and they generally come way too fast for you to properly time your attacks. This is another game where actually making some progress is an exercise in futility.
Boss!
You're a lizard man running through a mafia-infested city. This is a side-scrolling platformer, again, man these things are almost as prolific as the space shooters, but you can't actually progress very far because of these bomb-dropping enemies here. No matter how carefully you time it, getting under them without getting hit by the bomb or the resulting explosion is almost impossible. And they're always too high for you to actually hit with your weapon, which is restricted to Mega Man shooting, meaning you can only fire forward. Even if this game wasn't impossible to move in, the slow movement probably would have turned me off from this one. I really don't like slower platformers. But hey, that's it for this collection of games. And this is it, folks. We're going to be ending with the next video. And yes, I'm aware this means we'll be covering 7 games instead of 5, but shut up. I'm not dedicating a whole video to just 2 games from Action 52. That'd be madness. And I'm mad enough as it is. Why wouldn't I be? I'm still talking about Action 52 in the year of our Lord 2024 current year argument. I could be doing a lot better stuff with my time, like talking about the Sega Genesis version of this game. Wait,